Hello everyone, it is your boy Philko here, starting with my new kind of a audio series, even though it's on YouTube, which is a video website basically, a video sharing website. I'm going to start an audio series for people here, probably called Philko's Stories or Philko's Audios. I'm not sure what I will call it, but I'm going to start doing it. And these lessons will focus on your listening skills. Because I hear a lot of foreigners say things like, wow, Philko, I am really good at English. But for some reason, when I speak with people over the phone, I don't understand them. I don't understand them at all compared to when I'm next to that same person face to face. Well, there's numerous reasons for this. One reason is because you can't see their lips moving. Like a lot of deaf people, they don't really they don't hear people when they're speaking, but they understand the lip movement. They can understand people by looking at their lips and their tongue move, and they understand the sounds they're making, and they put that together and understand what they're saying in general, even though they hear nothing. They also can read, and you as well, you also read people's body language. So even if someone were to say no in a strange way, or even in another language, if they're shaking their heads left to right, you understand they're saying no. So when you're speaking on a telephone, not really on Skype, but when you're speaking on a telephone, cell phone, whatever, you don't have those options. You can't use your eyes. So with this, I will basically not allow you to see me, so you will have to use your listening skills. So how are we going to do this? Well, first, I'm going to read you a really quick story. It's very, very quick. It probably won't even be a minute or 2 minutes long. I'm going to read you a very quick story, and from this story, I'm going to teach you 10 new vocabulary words. Maybe you know some, maybe you don't, but we're not only going to be learning them today, you're also going to speak and use them today. This is a speaking and listening exercise. When I say repeat after me, I need you to repeat after me. And then when I say things like, how would I say this sentence in another way using this phrasal verb, you will have to try your best on your own to say that sentence. Then I will tell you how it's said correctly. And if you got it right, excellent. If you're confused, don't worry about it. We'll take it step by step, all right? So first, I'm going to read you this little story called John and Marie, okay? Let's get to it. Here's the story. John picked up Marie around 9 a.m. He was the kind of guy who needed to be on time for everything no matter what. That is why as soon as Marie got into the car, he pulled off. He was driving very quickly as he swerved on every corner. Please slow down. I do not want your car to break down out here, Marie told John. But he didn't care, as he had no time to kill at the moment. He was way too worried that she would be let down if they were not to make it in time. 25 minutes later, they got to the movies around 9:30, the exact time in which the movie started. Later on, he dropped her off and they both had smiles on their faces. Now, in the story that I just read to you, we are going to learn 10 things from it, okay? So, let's get going. First sentence of the story. John picked up Marie around 9 a.m. Pick up. What does it mean to pick up someone? Do you know? Well, when you pick someone up, you are basically putting them into your car to go somewhere. You're either taking them somewhere or you're both going somewhere together. But when you pick them up, they're getting in the car with you and you are the driver. That's to pick someone up. And pick up is separable. So you can say, I picked her up around 9 a.m. I picked them up around 10 a.m. So repeat after me. I picked up my friend yesterday. Repeat. I picked up my friend yesterday. Repeat one more time. Exactly. It is separable, okay? So that is how that phrasal verb works. So one more example. I can say, I picked up my mother yesterday around 9 o'clock. It is separable, but you don't have to separate it all the time. It could be followed with the noun. He picked up Marie. You could also say he picked Marie up. They both work, okay? Very good. Next one. He was the kind of guy who needed to be on time for everything no matter what. Now we're going to focus on two things here. Even though this sentence only contains on time, we're going to focus on time and in time together. Now, what does it mean to be on time? Well, let me teach you the easiest way to remember this because on time and in time are very similar. When you're on time, it's more specific about the clock. It's more about the clock. So for example, let's say you have to go to work at 9 in the morning. I love saying 9 o'clock. Let's say you have to go to work at 9 in the morning. If you get there at 8:50, if you get there at 8:55, you get there at 8:59, you get there at 9, you get there at 8:30, all of that is on time because it's based on the clock and you are not late. So what does it mean to be in time? Well, in time for something is not based on a clock necessarily. It's more based on an event. So for example, let's say you want to see the sun come up with your girlfriend or boyfriend. You want to see the sunrise. So you're driving. You don't know what time it is. You don't care what time it is. You just think that soon the sun is going to come up. So for sunrise. So you're driving really fast and you get there and you're seeing the sun come up. You can say, I made it in time to see the sunrise. Okay? So, or you can say something like, I made it in time for the start of the movie. But when you made it on time, you don't necessarily have to follow it with anything. When you made it on time, the person you're speaking to, if they're American, usually will understand that you're speaking about the person arrived based on a time and based on the clock, and that person wasn't late. So I made it on time. Or you could say, I made it on time for work. I made it on time for class. I made it on time. I just made it on time. You don't need to add something after that. But when you use in time, it's best to add something after that so they know what specific event you're talking about. I made it in time to see my mother before she went back to America. I made it in time to walk the dog before he used the bathroom in my house. So repeat after this sentence. I made it on time yesterday. I made it on time yesterday. Now repeat after this one. I made it in time to see her leave. I made it in time to see her leaving. Either one of those work. I made it in time to see her leaving. Okay? One's based on an event, one's basically based on the clock. Okay? So let's keep moving on. Next sentence. That is why as soon as Marie got into the car, he pulled off. Now, what does it mean to pull off? Well, to pull off means basically when you're standing somewhere with your car, when your car is stationary, it's not moving, and you begin to move it. That's pulling off. That's leaving somewhere after your car stayed there for a little. So if you're sitting there at a red light, once you start moving, you're pulling off. If you're in your car just sitting, when a car's sitting, it's just standing there. If you're standing there in front of your friend's house and your car just standing there, the instant you start moving, you're pulling off. So, but pull off is not separable. So you cannot say, I pulled the car off. No, it is not separable. It always stays together. So repeat after me. I pulled off quickly. I pulled off quickly. That means you left the spot in which you were standing as quick as you could. I pulled off quickly. Easy. You don't have to mention your car when you say pull off. When you say pull off, people know, Americans know you're speaking about a car, okay? Next sentence. He was driving very quickly as he swerved on every corner. Now, what is swerving? To swerve is a verb, and it means an abrupt change of direction. But to be more accurate, people recognize swerving as when you're driving fast and you turn and the car makes that sound. The wheels screeching on the floor because you're turning so quickly. That's known as swerving. So if you're going straight, and you have to make a right turn very fast, your car will most likely and swerve. That is swerving, okay? He pulled off. He was driving very quickly as he swerved on every corner. Repeat after me. When I drive quickly, I swerve. When I drive quickly, I swerve. Yes, that is swerving. When you turn and you go, swerving. Next sentence. Please slow down. I do not want your car to break down out here. What does it mean to break down? Well, according to this sentence, at least this definition, to break down is when your car stops working. To break down is when your car stops working. Now, this is not separable. This is inseparable. Do not separate the words break down in this phrasal verb with this meaning, as in the car stops working. So, repeat after this example sentence. My car broke down last night. My car broke down last night. Repeat after this sentence. The bus broke down as soon as I got on it. The bus broke down as soon as I got on it. That means as soon as your body was basically in the bus, it stopped working. You just got bad luck, okay? Now to the next sentence. But he did not care, as he had no time to kill at the moment. Now, what does it mean to have time to kill? This idiom. What does it mean to have time to kill? Well, that means to have a lot of time left. So, for example, let's say I have to get my mother from the airport at 11 o'clock. If I arrive there at 8 o'clock, I have 9, 10, 11, 3 hours to kill. I have time to kill. I can play video games if I can find some in the airport, if they have it. I can go on the internet and talk on Facebook. All that stuff, those are things that I can do because I have time to kill. That basically means you have time to waste, okay? We say time to kill. So repeat after me. I was in a rush with no time to kill. I was in a rush with no time to kill. She was very busy and had no time to kill. He was extremely busy and had no time to kill. There you go. Very good. Next sentence. He was way too worried that she would be let down if they were to not make it in time. What does it mean when a person is let down or when a person lets down a person? Well, when a person is let down, that means they are disappointed. And this is separable. For example, my father let me down. My father let me down. What does that mean? Well, that means my father disappointed me. My father disappointed me. Or for another example, I let the cat down. I let the cat down. What does that mean? I disappointed the cat. We usually use this phrasal verb separately, but it can be used together without being separate. It can be used as if you don't have to separate it. We do that sometimes, but we usually separate it. That is the best way to use this one, but it can be used either way. But let's just focus on the separate way, okay? So repeat after these example sentences. I don't want to let my mother down. I don't want to let my mother down. Excellent. You don't want to disappoint your mother, okay? Now, at the end of this sentence, we heard the phrase, we're not to make it in time. You already understand what in time means, right? What does it mean to be in time? Is that based on a clock or an event? Is in time based on the clock or an event? Well, in time is based on an event. Yes, it's more based on an event. On time is based on the clock, okay? Now we're almost finished. Let's get to the next sentence. 25 minutes later, they got there around 9:30. Now, To get there around, this phrase right here, to get there around, we use that a lot when we say we arrived somewhere. I notice a lot of foreigners say things like, oh yeah, we arrived around 2 o'clock, or we arrived. We don't like saying arrived. We like saying got there here in America. So for example, if I arrived somewhere close to 12 o'clock, I would say, I got there around 12 o'clock. That's when I got there. I got there around 12 o'clock. Or let's say I arrived somewhere as soon as it got dark. I can say, I got there around the time the sun was completely down. I got there around the time the sun went down. So repeat after this sentence. We got there around 12:30. They came here around 9:30. So you can use came here or got there around. All of that works. She came here around 10. I got there around 10. Both of those work. One is about, tuda, if you're Russian. Tuda is like to that place, or suda is like to this place. It's a little different, okay? So let's get to the next sentence. They got there around 9:30, which is the exact time in which the movie started. Perfect timing. Later on, he dropped her off and they both had smiles on their faces. Now, what does it mean to drop someone off? Of course, this is a separable phrasal verb. What does it mean to drop someone off? Well, that means after you have brought somebody somewhere in your vehicle, you let them out the car to their destination. That is dropping them off. So if you were to come up to my car and say, hey, can you take me somewhere? I would like for you to drop me off at my house or something. Fine. That means I will drive you to your house and I will not let you out the car, basically, until we are at your house. That's when you bring someone to their destination and you let them out the car. That's when you drop them off. So if I let someone out of my car at 12:10, I can say something like, and repeat after this sentence, I dropped her off around 12. I dropped her off around 12. Excellent, people. Very good. Now I'm going to take away the words from the screen. You won't see them. And now I'm going to test you really quick. Hopefully this goes no longer than 20 minutes. My goal was 20 minutes. Hopefully I can keep that, okay? Let's get to it. Now, first question. How would you say this? How would you say this sentence using a phrase I just taught you? How would you tell a person to slow down because you do not want their car to stop working? Please slow down. I do not want your car to stop working. How would you say that using a phrase I just taught you? You would have to say, please slow down. I do not want your car to break down. To break down means your car stops working, okay? Let's try another one. I disappointed my mother. I really disappointed my mother. What did I do to her? Using a separable phrasal verb. What did I do to my mother? I disappointed her. How would you say this? You can say, if you say I, you can say, I let my mother down. Or if you were speaking towards me because I was saying I, you can say, Philko let his mother down. Let down is when you disappoint someone and it is separable. Let's go to another one. I quickly left the location I quickly left the location with my car. What is the phrase or verb we use when we leave a location with our cars? I left the location with my car. How would I say that in a much quicker, easier way using a phrasal verb that is not separable? It would be, I quickly pulled off. I quickly pulled off. That is to leave a location with your car. Let's try another one. I was turning really fast on every corner and my car was going, ah! What was I doing? What is that verb? Well, I was swerving. That's exactly what I was doing. I was swerving, okay? So there you go, guys. I don't have time to test you on them all. I hope you learned a lot. At any time, of course, you can listen to this audio again if you feel you still need to practice with them. I will try to make one of these a day, different stories, different phrasal verbs, different idioms. I will try to teach you as much as I can in these 20-minute lessons, okay? And that's basically it, people. Let me know what you think. See you next time around. I'm out. And don't be racist.